Jeremy from Jeremy.net. So, I've mentioned in the past how one can use bad figure drawings as a learning tool, but I haven't shown you that process in a while because I haven't had time. But since I've been making the drawing purge a monthly thing, I thought I would show you this part of my drawing studies on a regular basis to see if you'd find these useful. If you do, then I'll start doing them monthly. So, my goal here is simply to study what went wrong with these figure drawings and really understand my mistakes so that hopefully I won't repeat the same mistakes next time I'm in front of the model. Now, during this process, I may redraw pieces of the pose or the whole pose several times, and I'll consult anatomy and drawing books and have them all laid out. So I'm trying to figure out where the gap is between what I think I know about the human body and what I'm actually putting down on paper. And this is actually a great way to break poor drawing habits too, because a lot of the time we aren't even aware that we have these habits, and being forced to really sit down and look at where our drawings are failing forces us to confront those habits and really say, all right, what am I doing? Why am I repeating these things? And start changing our drawing patterns. The drawings that I'm doing are in this set are they're from a costume and drape figure class that I took, and many of the mistakes I made in this set have less to do with clothing and more to do with basic gesture, proportion, and volumes. And I gotta tell you, if you get these wrong, it doesn't matter what clothing or what kind of rendering you put on top of forms, they're still gonna look wrong. And in my case, there's no real excuse for it. I mean, I've been figure drawing long enough that I should know better. Part of this, the best I can chalk it up to is that I haven't been drawing every day. Not because I don't want to or I don't feel like it. It's just there aren't enough hours in the day to fit in all the things I have to do. So I really need to get better about how I use my time so I'll have more of it to make art. I I try to keep a positive attitude about these kind of studies. A lot of time I'll be in figure drawing class talking with fellow artists and they'll be really hard on themselves about how a certain drawing is sucking or they aren't getting what they want out of the drawing. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't care about the fact that the drawings aren't coming out well, but using them to learn from puts a much more positive spin on the learning process. In the drawing purge videos, you see me calling out how this figure is out of proportion or I totally botched that joint or that torso. But if you spend enough time learning how to fix those things, you'll get better at fixing these mistakes on the fly, and hopefully, eventually, you'll stop making the mistakes altogether. One of the things I know that I'm bad at is quickly blocking the basic volumes of the figure in and creating a complete framework to draw anatomy and clothing on top of. And doing these drawings here really helped me focus on that. And in theory, I've had this idea for a while now that if I could just simply block in the entire torso really, really quickly. Not the torso, but the entire figure in very quickly, like within the first minute of the pose, which is a lot of what they tell you when you're doing gesture drawing, is to get that gesture down in the first minute. That I could almost look at the whole rest of the time, however long I have in the pose, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, to really look at that whole process as me doing what I'm doing here. Like I get that gesture down really fast, and I just spend the rest of the time fixing. And if I'm quick enough, and if I've got the material there, then the rest of the time I can really be patient and say, all right, what does this form look like? How is this joint turning? If I've got anatomy reference there to pull out a quick anatomy book, it's kind of hard in a 5 or 10 minute pose to do that. But if you're doing something where you're doing 20-minute poses or half hour or longer, then actually saying, all right, what I'm drawing is completely wrong here. Let me take a look at an anatomy book and say, what is this muscle really doing? And why is it that what I'm drawing doesn't look right? And you may realize that you're just misperceiving the form. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, please like and share them. You can sign up for my weekly newsletter to get a free digital comic at newsletter.jeremy.net. That's newsletter.jeremy.net. Also, visit my main website, jeremy.net, where you can buy my comic books, art prints, and more. There's also links to my Instagram, Twitter, and other social media accounts. That's it for now. Go be creative.